Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when the right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. But light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years.
More important, what is the definition of a Jew? What is Am Yisrael? What is this creation called the nation of Israel? What is it? What does it mean? Spoke about this other times as well. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I always ask this question. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the first man. Was Adam Harishon a Jew or a non-Jew? And always people fall into the trap. I won't let you fall into the trap. He wasn't Jewish. He wasn't the son of Avraham Avinu. So then he says, so if that's the case, Hashem had nothing better to do than to create a guy. The first man was a guy. If by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he himself, that's the greatest, the most elevated being that can be. The man, Hashem creates something perfect. The most elevated man that Hashem created in history. Didn't have a father or mother. Created with the hands of Hashem. Was a guy? How could it be? Can't be. And to the opposite, to the contrary, what is the compliment that Chazal say to Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel? We have a statement in Chazal. It caused a lot of anti-Semitism in history. Atem kruyim Adam. You, the nation of Israel, are called Adam. What's the compliment to the nation of Israel? We are called Adam. Beloi Umas Ha'olam. Umas Ha'olam are not called Adam. They're not Adam. So let's go. Let's take it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created man in the most perfect way. And in that situation, man was totally good. There was no evil mixed into him. It's true. He had an opportunity to do an Aveira. He did. He ate from the Eitz Hadas. But it had to come from the outside. Who talked him into doing the Aveira? The Satan, the Nachash. The Nachash talked him into it. So the evil was on the outside. It was like there's like this dog barking on the outside, telling a person to do something wrong. But inside of him, he naturally did everything good. Like we say in the bracha on the blessing of the sanctification of the moon. How do we say in the bracha of Hashem created the moon and the sun? How do we say? Yishanu estafkidam. They can't change their duty. Yishanu means to change. Yishanu estafkidam. Sosim usmeichim. They're happy to do the wish of their creator. So was the situation of the first man before he ate from the Eitz Hadas. What did the eating of the Eitz Hadas do? The Eitz Hadas created a mixture. We have a pasuk in Kehelis. Elokim asa es ha'adam yosha. The Rebbeinu Shel Olam made man straight. That's straight. Adam Harishon. He was only kedusha. His physical body was, you could say, was totally secondary and following naturally. He was one organization of the physical with the spiritual. This physical was just like a hammer is a tool in the hands of a carpenter. So was the body was a tool in the hands of Adam Harishon. And this is the reason why that Adam Harishon, even in what today a person is naturally ashamed, that it says the Nachash saw him with his wife and had jealousy. How could it be? He was naked and they weren't ashamed. So the Goyim read this and they say, yeah, he did the tree of knowledge. But we say, if you eat from the tree of knowledge, if you do an Aveira, you don't get knowledge. It can't be that the tree of Hashem didn't want man to have knowledge. He was stupid. He didn't know he had to be ashamed. Chas v'shalom. You know, we say, Ein Adam chaytei, elam kein nichnas ruach shtus. An Aveira is a shtus. It's the Eitz Hadas is the Eitz Hatipshus, not the Eitz Hadat, not from that point. So what does das mean? The word das are the things that a person, the seichel, the most elementary machshavas, which a person is connected with, and he understands it can't be different. In mathematics, you say postulates. Those are das. If you have a complicated idea and you get to the point that it becomes so clear to you that it's a postulate, so you got das in something that elevated. But das means that it's clear to you that it can't be the opposite. Now, the eitz adat. So why is it clear to you? You're mixed with it. The word das itself is mixture. Eitz adas toy bara. This the nature of the tree of das was to mix the evil and the good together. It created in man before the evil was in the outside. By eating the Eitz das, the man became a total mixture of evil and good and life and death. And that was what Hashem said to him, Ki ofa ato v'ofa toshuv. The death became in him. We think that life is like there's life and then there's the power of death. It's not true. Life is a constant. A person is born to die. He's constantly approaching his death. The eating of the Eitz das, because it brought it. Death is shy. Let's put it this way: death is shy, is connected with the physical body. When the physical body didn't have an independent essence, there was only neshama. The neshama is something eternal. The eating of the tree gave the physical body the physical and independent existence. So it made the person into a compounded object, into two. Before there was one, the guf was totally secondary to the neshama. The eating of this made the guf an independent, that this became double. So he has definitely because the guf offerata. Now his identity is mixed with the wishes of the physical body. So offerata, you are offered. You yourself became offered. Offer toshav, you'll just like the offer, you'll go back to the offer. He's a mixture of life and death together. And this went on in the world, and then there was a mabul and a flogger until the others. In other words, the goy, the concept of goy is a product of the chet of Adam Harishon. Man in his fallen state. The goy, but the avos hakdoshim, they worked out that Hashem wanted the tachlis, the purpose of the world was to be an Adam that's pure, that will have mitzvahs, that will do the Ratzon Hashem. The purpose, the avos, the whole avoid of avos was to bring a purification of the sin of Adam Harishon, to somehow to divide between, to make some kind of order, this mixture of evil and good together, which the first sin created. And here we get to the point of Am Yisrael going to Mitzrayim as well. The tachlis of a Jew is to divide this mixture, to make a division between Tov and Ra, to make Havdalah. We have before Shabbos we have Kiddush, and then Motzei Shabbos we have Havdalah. It's exactly the same idea. The purpose of the Jew is to be Mekadesh. It means to separate. That's Havdalah. To separate between the evil and the good. This is the purpose of the Jew, and the Jew himself in him is more separated, the evil from the good. And this was the going into Mitzrayim. The whole going into Mitzrayim, the Pasuk speaks about it. There's one Pasuk that speaks about the taking out of the Am Yisrael from Mitzrayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took you out. Goy mikerev goy. They were swallowed up in Mitzrayim, and he doesn't speak about the problem, doesn't speak about the tzorah, the saving. Goy mikerev goy. We were totally swallowed up, and Hashem separated us. And the purpose of the Jew is to be separated from the goyim, to separate himself from Olam Hazeh, and to use it in a holy way. And this was there's another pasuk. Vayoytzi eschem mikur habarzel. The pasuk compares the Am Yisrael being in Egypt like you would put gold into a furnace to get out of it the impurities. So Mitzrayim was the suffering of Mitzrayim was to remove the impurities from the Nishmas Yisrael, was to create a nation which is ready to accept the Torah. This is the whole Shibud Mitzrayim. I say that to go to a more light word. It says Vayimoru es chayehem. So it's no there's a word from the Grove. Vayimoru es chayehem. You know that the timing, the musical, how you say it, it has names. Here is it further. Vayimoru es chayehem. So the ta'amim kadmo va'azla. So from the Grove, it says the kadmo va'azla is because Am Yisrael says that the Am Yisrael had to be in Egypt. How many years did they have to be? 400. How much were they? 210. So the one answer is Koshi Hashibud Hishlim. The difficulty of the subjugation completed the years. So the Gra says Vayimoru es chayehem, which means literally they made bitter their lives. This was created Kadma va'azla. The meaning of these in Aramaic, Kadma, they were Kodem, earlier, va'azla they went. They were makdim to go because of this Vayimoru Chayei. But it's possible to say, Gedarka Shel Teira, another pshat. There's a pasuk in speaking about the snake in Parshas Shmini, Hoylech al Gochoy. And there the timing are as well, Kadma va'azla munach revi. And there's also a gra that explains Kadma va'azla, before it went. Today, munach revi. The word revi could mean also stomach. It's munach on it's planted on its stomach. The nachash Kadma va'azla could refer to the nachash. Kadma before va'azla, before it went. Once upon a time it went. Today it's on its stomach. Why did Am Yisrael have to need? Why did they need?
Before
the
used to
chet.
have legs.
What?
It used to have legs.
Right. Before it went, it had legs, but only historically. Why did it lose its legs? Because of the chet. So why did Am Yisrael have to go to Mitzrayim and suffer? Because to purify it says the Nachash put impurity into man. The Nachash put Zuhamat HaNachash, Tumah from the Nachash. And this Tumah was not completely, Mitzrayim was to separate from Am Yisrael this Zuhamat HaNachash. And this process wasn't completed till by Matan Torah, where it says when Am Yisrael received the Torah HaSinai, Poska Zuhamatam. The Zuhama from the Nachash stopped. So this is Merumas here in the Torah. Vayimoru es chayehem. The purpose of the bitterness of the Shibud Mitzrayim was to purify Am Yisrael. Like a furnace takes out the impurity of gold. To make them pure, to be set, to make a marechet, an order of Kedusha to serve Hashem. And this is the whole Golus. Chet brings Golus. It's again mixture with the Goyim, influence from the Goyim. The whole Avodah in Golus is to be separated from the Goyim. This is the whole tafkid of Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael is the Am that is meant that the Iker, the principal being in Am Yisrael is the Neshama. Let's talk about for a minute HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what it identifies Am Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Avraham Avinu to separate Am Yisrael from the rest of the Goyim. He gave him the first mitzvah more than the 7 mitzvahs of Bnei Noach. What is the first mitzvah which was given? That mitzvah represents the separation from all the nations of the world. The first mitzvah, before even the Torah was given, the very first mitzvah was given which to Avraham Avinu, and that mitzvah separated him from the rest of the nations of the world. That's the first mitzvah. It's the introduction to all the mitzvahs that Am Yisrael is in the future going to get. What's that mitzvah? Bris Milah. Right, Bris Milah. That's the 8th. It's interesting. The Bris Milah is to make the bris on the 8th day, and it's the 8th mitzvah given by Hashem to the world. Bris Milah. The 7 mitzvahs Bnei Noach. What separates the Jew from the Goy is the 8th mitzvah of Bris Milah. It's interesting. Not the time now to talk about it. 8th mitzvah. I'll call upon him. What is this? So Hashem, what's this mitzvah called? More than a mitzvah, it's called a bris. What is a bris? A bris is a treaty that means it's a kashrus. The bris means that we are united with Hashem as Hashem is united with us. This bris milah separates us from the nations of the world. It's identity, it's a physical identity in the body, and it separates us. It represents our tafkid to be separated in all ways. Bris Milah. But the Bris Milah is very interesting. The word Milah in Hebrew has a double meaning. What else does Milah mean outside of circumcision? Word. So Bris Milah is the bris of the words. How's the bris of the words? What's the bris of the words? Big what?
Mouths are used for kedusha.
What?
Our mouths.
Is used for kedusha. Our mouths. Where is the revelation of the presence of our spiritual soul?
Peh.
The peh. Peh, by the way, as well. Peh, the gematria mila. Gematria peh and mila are the same. 85. So the bris mila is kedushas hapeh. It's kedushas haneshama. Because the orla, after the chet, after the eating of the etzadas, the guf became more physical. Where the orla represents a place where the neshama can't have rulership. So Hashem said, cut off the orla. The bris milah is to reveal in the person the power of the spirituality, the power of the soul. So it's a bris on the milah, to express holy words, to express the neshama. The purpose of bris milah is to reveal the neshama. By the way, simin ledava. There's no time. We have short time, especially that I came late. The word neshama. Tell me. Let's find the parallel. Let's play Scrabble with the word neshama and find a remez to milah in the word neshama. What word can you make with neshama that relates to milah? And don't tell me shmeina fat. Something else.
Shema.
No, we don't have Shema.
Neshama.
Sorry. No, Shema is Shin Mem Ayin. There's no Ayin there.
Oh.
And Shema is 3 letters and this is 4 letters. Well, I'll give you a remez. It's a number. On which day do we make Milah? The 8th day. And we said it's a Shmona. Neshama. Shmona. You make Milah on the 8th day and you reveal the Neshama. And this concept is, the Maral explains it very often, because he says the number 8, the world was created in how many days? 7 days. That's the order of nature. But Am Yisrael is not a natural nation. They couldn't even be born naturally. Like we know that Avraham Avinu was an akar. He was impotent, and he couldn't have children. Hashem told him, "Vayotzei Avraham achutza." The Chazal say he took Avram out of his constellation, out of his mazal, and he raised him above the mazal. In a natural way, Am Yisrael couldn't be brought to the world. The whole existence of Am Yisrael is b'ashkocha protis, with special divine providence, and it's l'mayla me'ateva, and that's the number 8. The identity of Klal Yisrael is the neshama. The neshama is not something from the physical world. The neshama is kodma la'olam. It's before the world. It's before the 7 days. And and that's why the neshama is eternal. It's not part of the physical world, which has a finite existence. And this concept is expressed in the Lashon HaKodesh by the word Oz. What does the word Oz mean? That's all this I'm saying over from the Maral Prague. What does the word Oz mean? Oz is a constant moment. Then is it past? Is it future? Is it a present?
That means present.
Not really. It's an ongoing moment. Us. It's a time that continues. Us at that time, which it could be today. It's not something under a tense. The word us. If we want to know what is us, it's Aleph. 1. That's the revealing, the revelation of Hashem. It's the hidden element of Ruchnius. The word Aleph is fascinating, and Zayin. So it's the Aleph. It's the Hashem Echad, which preceded the creation. And when that's revealed, Oz Yoshir, when the Shira, where does it say Oz? Oz Yoshir. Shira is the purpose of existence, to realize the praise of Hashem, to realize how everything's from Hashem. And that's with the power of the Peh, Shira. And the power of the Peh is the power of the Neshama. Where the Neshama is revealed in its purpose, that's Oz. That's an ongoing moment. Rashi says on that Oz Yoshia, Oz, then they will sing, here is a hint that the final song will be Mikan Remez B'Tchiyat HaMeisim Min HaTeirah. that Mason, that this Tchias Mason, that the Mason will resurrect, and as the eternity. Because from the point of the neshama, a person has eternity. Now, so let's get back now. So Am Yisrael went to Golus, to Mitzrayim, to become, to wash off the offer, the dust, the earth, the physical material of the Chet of Adam Arishan. Mitzrayim was a place where everything was mixed, was the epitome of the physicalities of this world. Mitzrayim, Mole Zima, was full of Znus and Zima, full of Tumah. And the word Mitzrayim itself, Chacham and Svarim say, there's the concept of a finite, everything has finite boundaries. The word Meitzar, Minha Meitzar Krosiko. What is a Meitzar in Hebrew? Do you know? A Meitzar? Narrowness, a boundary. Mitzarim is boundaries. So in that sense, Yitziat Mitzrayim is to go out from the finite to the infinite. That's Yitzias Mitzrayim. How are we Zoicha? How do we merit infinity? By the Torah and mitzvahs. By the bris that we have of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we are connected with the Ein Sof, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Ein Sof was infinite, we become infinite by the power of bris. Now, with this introduction, let's go back to the pasuk. Let's see the Balaturim. The Balaturim says first, this is an introduction to appreciate the Balaturim. And we have 3 mitzvot, which are called bris. 3 mitzvot. That outside of being mitzvahs, they're called bris. They express the treaty, the absolute tiskashrus, how we're separated from this world and connected with Hashem. Can you tell me? This is a riddle. If you're learning Atzama Nafshi, you have to know. What are the 3 mitzvahs which are called bris? So the first one we already spoke about. Repair is not called bris, you're right, but it's bris milah, right? Bris milah. Now the second mitzvah that's called bris, we say it in the davening on Shabbos. V'shamru Yisrael Shabbos Lasses Hashem bris oila beini uvein b'nei Yisrael. Shabbos is a bris. That's why to desecrate the Shabbos is such a severe thing. To desecrate Shabbos is equal to a person not making a bris milah. The Jews would only know that they make bris milah and they don't keep Shabbos. It's the same thing. It's a bris. The third mitzvah that's called bris is Baruch Hashem. This is what you hear in yeshiva doing it. Every minute in yeshiva is a bris. Limud HaTorah. Im loy brisi yoimon v'laylo chukay shamayim v'oretz loy samti. The purpose of the world is the study of Torah. Now, let's go back to the pasuk. That means why? What's the common denominator between these 3? What do the Sfarim tell us about Shabbos? What does a person have extra on Shabbos more than the rest of the week? He has what? Neshama Yisera. Neshama. Wherever you have bris, that's the revelation of the neshama. What is the property of the Torah? Torah is Hashem Temima Mishivas Nefesh. It brings out the neshama. It's an act, sichli, an intellectual act which reveals in the person the neshama. So this is all bris. Now let's look at the pasuk. The purpose of going to Mitzrayim was to reveal the Nishmas, the holy Nishmas Yisrael. Look at the last letters. B'nei Yisrael Aboyim Mitzrayim. What are the last letters? Yud Mila. This guy's good. Yud Lamed Mem Hey. And maybe, no. You see it? But you know what? Yisrael Aboyim, if you just take those 2 words and you look at the first letter and the last letter together, Yisrael, Yud and Lamed. Again Mila, twice Mila. Twice Mila. I don't know why the Mila is written twice here, but this is for sure for a reason. Now, alright, maybe it's a coincidence. Let's go on. What is the second mitzvah that we said is a bris with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What's the second mitzvah? Shabbos. Is Shabbos, can you find me Shabbos here too? Let's see. Let's go on in the pasuk. Es Yankov Ish, es Yankov Ish. Take a look at the last letters of these 3 words backwards. Ish, Shin, Yaakov, Beis, Es, Tough. What does it make? Shabbos. What are the percentages, I ask you, in statistics that Mila and Shabbos should find themselves together in this pasuk? And what's it doing here in this pasuk? Because this pasuk is telling us that the purpose of Shibud Mitzrayim was for the bris. Why did we go to Mitzrayim? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to make with us a bris. That's the purpose of Shibud Mitzrayim. And b'schus these two mitzvahs, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu already chose. Yismach Moshe, we say on Shabbos. Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelkoi. Moshe should rejoice in his gift to Klal Yisrael. It says that Moshe went to Paroi. And he said to them, listen, if you have workers that work 7 days, they won't do good work. It pays for you to give them a vacation one day. They'll be better servants, better slaves. And Moshe chose for them the day of Shabbos. So they kept Shabbos in Mitzrayim, and they kept Mila. Or at the end, at least, they had to make Mila. And b'schus Mila and Shabbos, they were redeemed from Egypt. And that's the purpose of the whole Golus. And the Asad Lovay as well. And here I want to tell you something. Why did Hashem make that now suddenly there's such a... Once before, 50 years ago, there was a test. Hashem made a television. All right. You don't take a television into the house. You're not connected with the whole world. Now Hashem made, there's such a thing called internet. And people need it for business or whatever. So the most holiest houses suddenly, or iPhone, so they're connected with the whole world. Everybody has a television in the house, a potential television. Potential. First they could fight it, and now they can't even fight it. Why does Hashem make this? Because when a person has a test, because before Mashiach comes, we need schuyot, we need schusim, merit, to bring the redemption. And the redemption, like at Mitzrayim, redemption means to be separated from the Goyim. So the whole schus, the whole merit to be redeemed out of Golus and to bring Mashiach is what a person is more separated from the Goyim, that he removes hashpor. Bris. Bris is internet, and bris are two opposites. Because bris means to be united with Hashem, separated from the Goyim. Internet, iPhone, all this technology means to let the whole flow of all the Goyim, to bring the 70 nations into your heart. So it's two opposites. But if a person separates himself from all these things, and the test becomes bigger, and he's separated, this is the schus that brings the gula. That's Makar Mashiach. Because like it says here, that they were redeemed from Mitzrayim in the merit of Shabbos and Mila. And by the way, in Torah, the future redemption is also in these mitzvahs. There's a pasuk, and I'll explain what it has to do with this pasuk. It's something absolutely fascinating. First of all, I saw in a sefer once, there's another mitzvah which is represented here. If you look like this, Yisrael, no, 1 minute. Yes. Shemos b'nei Yisrael aboy Mitzrayim. You know, it makes a very famous book. The last letters, we spoke about Mila. There's a very famous book that has Mila, and you just have to add to it a Tuf. And what's the name of this book? David HaMelech, the great-grandfather Mashiach, that Begoyel Yisrael, he wrote it. How's it called? Tilim, right? Take a look. Shmois, Tuf, then you have Yud Lamed Mem Hey, Tilim. You have here Tilim. So we have Shabbos, Mila, Tehillim. That's Tefillah.
How do you get to Tehillim?
The last letters from Shmois B'nai Yisrael Haboyim Mitzrayim. You makes Tehillim. It's not a mikra. It's not a coincidence. The power, because Tehillim is like the belief in Hashem, that Hashem is running the world, that there's no nature. That's the idea of this. That we are not a natural nation. That everything that happens to a person is not coincidence, but it's from Hashem by divine providence. This emunah, this is the gula, this is the redemption. But now I want to get to one more point. Tzion, there's a pasuk, it says like this: Tzion b'mishpat tipoda, v'shaveho b'tztoka. There's a fascinating, what does it mean? Tzion, Zion, Tzion, Am Yisrael will be redeemed with the judgment of Hashem. V'shaveho, one will return to Yerushalayim with the good heart, with the schus of tztoka, charity. So, there was a Rab in Yerushalayim called Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld. And he was a master of the art of gematria. And he said, Tzion, we have the oral Torah is divided in two Talmud. Which two Talmud do we have? Talmud, which are the two Talmudim? Talmud Yerushalmi and Talmud Bavli. Now you'll have to check this. I'd like you to check it. Tziyoi b'mishpat tipoda has the same numerical value as Talmud Yerushalmi. Shoveho b'tztoka, this one I know by heart, is 5. I don't want to say it, but you'll check it. I think it's 528. And 524. No, it's 524. 524. B'shoveho b'tztoka, it's 524. Talmud Bavli. So when we'll come back, B'schus Torah, Talmud Bavli and Talmud Yerushalmi. And where does it say it over here? If you look at the first letters of these four, they're here too. Ve'ele Shemos b'nei Yisrael haboyim. The first letters make the word V'shovel. When we return, the schus of Tilim, Mila, Shabbos, and Talmud Bavli.
Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through